Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another extravagant few minutes live on 12 Ounce Sports. And of course, you can see us on our YouTube channel, which is, of course, 12 Ounce Sports. We invite you to subscribe to our channel, get all of our programming live, all of our daily shows, our weekly shows, including the Captain Lou Extravaganza Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock and the ACHA Power Play Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. We've got two great episodes, by the way, of that coming up this week. Can't wait for those. Well, something I can't wait for, and I know everybody here in the Michigan area and Minnesota for that matter, the game tonight, the finale of the regular season, the Lions and the Vikings. We'll get into that after the break here, as we are sponsored, by the way, by tickets.12ouncesports.com. It's the biggest game in Detroit Lions regular season history, no doubt about that. Hey, last night, congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens as they clinched the AFC North with a dominant win. We called it here yesterday, 35-10 over Cleveland, and it wasn't even that close. It was pretty ugly over there in Baltimore, but the Ravens advanced, maybe losing Zay Flowers for the first playoff game. We'll have to wait and see on that, but a dominant performance by Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They advance, and the Bengals in the nightcap, they keep their playoff hopes alive with a win 19-17 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got me on the over. I thought it would be over 41.5, at least on the teaser, over 47.5. But I should have known with Pittsburgh's anemic offense, they are sputtering as they head into the playoffs. More than likely now will be the 6th seed. Depends on what the Chargers do this afternoon. But Pittsburgh losing that one 19-17. More than likely going to be playing Baltimore in the opening round of the playoffs. And if the Chargers win, they'll play Houston, but we'll talk more about that later on in the week. Big games going on today. There's a couple of divisions that are up for grabs. We talked about it with the Lions and the Vikings. We'll get into more on that in a little bit. The other one in the NFC South, it's going to be the Falcons and the Buccaneers both playing games that they should win. But in the AFC, there is a playoff berth up for grabs, and probably the most important player in the AFC today, anyways, is Carson Wentz. He's going to play in replace of Patrick Mahomes as they go into Denver to take on the Broncos. The Broncos with a win, and they're in. Cut and dry. There's no other way to put it. If they win, they're in. If they lose and the Dolphins win, the Dolphins are in. If both those teams lose, the Cincinnati Bengals are in. It's pretty much that cut and dry. The Dolphins, we don't know if Tua is going to play with his hip. More than likely, he's not going to play. That means the Jets, of all teams playing the Dolphins at home, are a 1-point favorite, half-point favorite, whatever you want to call it. I'm not touching that game with a 10-foot pole. No way, no how. Kansas City and Denver. Denver right now is a 10.5-point favorite at home with that winner and you're in scenario in the playoffs. We mentioned Kansas City resting a lot of their starters. Mahomes not going to play. Pacheco probably isn't going to play. Chris Jones isn't going to play. So it's going to be Carson Wentz trying to lead the Chiefs to a victory and to be spoiler in the AFC. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm not holding my breath on that one. I think Denver's going to win that one outright, but by how much, that is going to be the question. The over-under is 44 on that one. We talked about Miami and the Jets. The Jets a 1-point favorite, only because Tua is probably not going to play. And so, this could be Aaron Rodgers' last game, in a New York Jets uniform. Who cares, right? He may end up in Vegas with the Raiders next week. But the Dolphins need a win, and they need some help by Kansas City to beat Denver. And, of course, like we mentioned, Cincinnati, they need a whole lot of help. Their playoff hopes hanging by a thread. In the NFC, we talked about it in the NFC South. Tampa Bay, they hold a 1-game lead over Atlanta right now for the division championship. The winner gets a division crown, or actually they don't play each other, but should Tampa Bay win, they're in. It's pretty simple. They're a 14.5-point favorite at home against New Orleans. Derek Carr, of course, is not playing. New Orleans just playing out the string right now, hoping to play spoiler. That's going to be a tall order to go into Tampa Bay right now, as when you've got Baker Mayfield clicking on all cylinders, you've got Mike Evans playing really well. They're a team that's going to be reckoned with in the opening round of the playoffs, should they win. If they somehow stub their toe and lose this one, which I highly doubt, Atlanta with a win, they're in. Atlanta holds the tiebreaker. They got 2 wins earlier this year over the Buccaneers, so they hold the tiebreaker. Michael Penix is going to start, as you know, for Atlanta at quarterback. They're a 7.5-point favorite right now in this one at home against Carolina. You saw the over-under, 48.5 on that one. The over-under on the Tampa Bay game, 44.5. I just don't know if I would touch the over-unders. These are going to be some easy games to call if you're going money line. But I'm going to give you my Captain Lou teaser options. Yesterday, obviously, the extravagant teaser, I was 0 for 1 on that one. I got the teaser bet correct on the Baltimore-Cleveland game, and, of course, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. I did not get that one. I got Cincinnati money line, but, boy, I'll tell you what, Vegas sure knows the spread, right? 2.5. Pittsburgh covered that one. But here's my teaser bets on this one. Take Kansas City, 17.5. Buy the points down. All right, so they can get within 3 scores. I think they can do that on the road in Denver. I think they can cover 17, and they can get within 17.5. Take Tampa Bay minus 6.5. I think, honestly, I think they're going to blow out New Orleans, but I so much shy away from laying double-digit points. It seems like it never works. It would have worked yesterday, obviously, in the Baltimore game, but I don't know. I may lay the 13.5, or I'm not going 14.5. If I were to do that, I'd buy it down. But if you take my teaser, just those 2 teams right there, Kansas City and Tampa, it's minus 130. If you throw in Atlanta, make it a 3-team kind of a teaser parlay, throw in Atlanta money line, it bumps it up to plus 126. So you'll get a little bit of bang for your buck on that one. So I think I'm going to lean with that 3-team teaser. I think Atlanta's going to win money line. I think they're going to win outright. I think Tampa can cover 6.5. I think they're going to win going away, obviously. And I think Kansas City, I think they can get within 17.5 with Carson Wentz at quarterback. So that's going to be my teaser bet that I go with right there. The 3-team teaser, Kansas City plus 17.5, Tampa minus 6.5, and Atlanta at money line. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the big one, the biggest game in regular season history, no doubt, for the Detroit Lions as they take on the Vikings, as you're watching an extravagant few minutes right here on 12 Ounce Sports.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them. Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
That's right. We are a ticket broker. Can't say it enough. 12ouncesports.com/tickets, tickets.12ouncesports.com. However you want to get there. There are tickets available for some of these games yet today. Tickets available for tonight's big matchup at Ford Field in Detroit, the Lions and the Vikings. Go to 12ouncesports.com/tickets and use the promo code 12ounce to get an extra 5% off as well. Tickets are going fast. I know the Vikings bought up 2,000 tickets or whatever, 1,000 tickets, paid it, whatever it was, 2,000 tickets, paid $1,000 a piece. And so they spent $2 million to try to get a little bit of an advantage for the fans in Detroit. Not going to matter, I don't think. That place is going to be so stinking loud. But go to 12ouncesports.com/tickets and you can get some last-minute tickets for these games or the semifinals coming up this week in the college football playoffs. So we'll talk more about that later on in the week. All right. The time for talk is just about over. This is Maylocks Day for me. This is probably the biggest game in Detroit Lions regular season history. I can remember as a teenager back, I think it was 1981. I can't remember the exact year. The Lions played Tampa Bay. The winner at the Silverdome would go on to the playoffs and host, or they would take on Dallas, I believe, in the opening round. Detroit lost that game at home to Tampa Bay. I'll never forget that. Then I think 7 years ago, 2016 regular season, 2017, whatever it was, the Lions and the Packers played. A winner gets the division title. The loser went on the road in the wild card game against Seattle. Detroit lost that one to Green Bay. Well, this one tops it. The winner gets the first round bye and the division championship, the number one seed in the NFC. I'll tell you, the stakes can't get any bigger than this. There's going to be a 14-3 team as a wild card. Never happened where a 14-win team is a wild card team. The winner gets an opening round bye. They get to rest some players. The loser will go probably to Tampa Bay or Atlanta, depending on who wins that division. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'd want to go to Tampa Bay. That's going to be a tough order on the road. Tampa's playing pretty good. I think both these teams could win down there. This is going to be an absolute slugfest tonight. Detroit is right now a 3-point favorite. The over-under on this one is 56.5. 56.5, that's crazy. It's going to be a shootout, though. In my opinion, it's going to come down to, obviously, who makes the fewest mistakes. Now, we see Detroit's bend but don't break defense. They're banged up, but it's week 18. Everybody's banged up at the end of the year, not using injuries for any excuses. This is going to be one heck of a game. I know that there's going to be some bleary-eyed people tomorrow morning from both fan bases, the Lions and the Vikings. This comes down to it. It's Sunday night. It's the last game of the regular season. So much at stake in this one. You know, as a Lions fan, obviously, I got to get the chain on. You know, it's going to be out there. It is just, I'm just about speechless. You can't say any more about this. Alex Anzalone looks like he's going to try to make it a go for the Lions. You know, you've got Sam Darnold, you've got Justin Jefferson, just to name a few. Aaron Jones. I know I'm missing them. Some of the wide receivers. You've got T.J. Hawkinson coming back to Detroit. But you've also got Jared Goff. You've got Jahmyr Gibbs. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jamison Williams. Khalif Raymond may come back. I mean, so loaded on both sides of the ball. It's, again, going to come down to if Sam Darnold makes a couple of mistakes, if the Lions make a couple of mistakes. Boy, it's just, I don't know. I think the over is probably the best bet. I'm not betting. I don't bet on the Lions games. I don't bet on it. All I'm going to say on this one, it's going to be a shootout, and it's just going to come down to probably the last possession. Never in my life have I seen a Lions game in a regular season with so much at stake. So it's going to be an absolute madhouse at Ford Field tonight. I'll tell you what. I went to the playoff game last year against the Rams. That was amazing. We went to the regular season finale against the Vikings last year. That's going to be nothing compared to what the tension's going to be like at Ford Field tonight. Both these teams, obviously it's not a winner not going to the playoff scenario, but that number one seed is so huge. It is so huge, especially for the Lions. They're so banged up on defense. Maybe get to rest some of their injured players. That extra week could really help a guy like David Montgomery. Oh boy, it's out there. Wow. What can you say? The hype is real. This is going to be one hell of a matchup tonight. This is probably going to be one of the most watched Sunday night football games in recent memory. The Lions and the Vikings. Lions -3, the over-under 56.5. I got a feeling this is going to be into the 60s, this game right here, the score. I don't know. I'm going to go with 37-34 Lions only because I'm a Lions fan. That's my prediction. But it's going to come down to probably the last possession, and it is just going to be out there. All right, everybody, take a deep breath. The game's at 8:20. We got all day to watch football, and it's going to be a fun one. You've got Denver looking to clinch. You've got Tampa Bay looking to clinch. You've got Atlanta for some hoping for a miracle. You've got Miami for a miracle and Cincinnati for the utmost miracle. But you've got the Lions and the Vikings to end the regular season. It doesn't get any better than that. All right, everybody, enjoy the games tonight. Enjoy the games this afternoon. It's going to be one heck of a day to end the NFL regular season. All right, Captain Lou saying, keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. Thanks for joining us here for another extravagant few minutes on 12 Ounce Sports. Enjoy the football.